everyone, welcome to a video lecture on functions in C for the course of programming in C. I am JB Katkade from KK Polytechnic Nasik. My presentation is about the functions in C. The content of the presentations are given here. Now when we write a program, the programs are written in a sequence of statements, or we say that the code is written in a sequence of the statements in the syntax of C program. C. Now when we want to solve a problem, in many cases some of the steps or some of the statements will be repeated multiple times. Let us see the example here, that the sign of x is evaluated by expression. In this expression, we need to calculate the factorial of multiple numbers, as here is factorial of 1, factorial of 3, factorial of 5, 7 or 9 and so on. Similarly, here we require to evaluate the x to the power, x raised to 1, x raised to 3, x raised to 5, x raised to 7, x raised to 9 and more. So when we evaluate this or find a solution for this, there will be repetition of the statements of the code for finding factorial and repetition of the statements for finding the power x raised to y. Now when we write as a single program, these statements will be repeated multiple times. So for my complete solution, we require to write a factorial repeatedly. For better implementation, what is the solution for this is use functions in C. The functions in C are small code which is written separately to perform a specific task. The task is a smaller operation which is atomic in nature, meaning that only single task will perform by function. So function is to be written as a separate code rather than the part of the main function or main program in the C. So we are going to perform writing our functions in C. So as we see here in our last example, that the factorial is to be calculated again and again. So it is better option that this repeated task is represented or written by using a function in C. So to write a function in C, we have to see the different types of functions in C. There are two basic types of the functions in C. One is inbuilt function and other is user-defined function. Inbuilt functions are the functions which are available or provided by the compiler, which are also referred as standard library functions. Some of the functions are already used by you before this. Examples are printf, scanf or string copy, memory alloc, getch and many more. So these functions are provided along with the compiler and are part of the header files which are provided in the compiler. So whenever we want to use these functions, we are going to include the header file and use this. The second part of the functions are the user-defined functions. So the functions we want to write on our own. So the user-defined functions are to be written by the programmer for solution of a particular problem. So whenever we want to write a solution which is repeatedly used, we will use the function in the program, and the code written for the function will be represented as a separate part in the program. So to write a function in C, there are three activities which are to be followed for this. The three activities are function declaration, function definition and function call for use of the function. Let us see how we declare the function. So when you want to write a function in C, we have to follow the particular mechanism, was in technical word called as the syntax, to write the function. First we have to write the return value for the function. So return value here, return value is here, that when we write, we will write here as the return type, function name, parameter list. Then we enclose the function in the two curly brackets, as we are written it for the main function already we had used it. After this, there is the local variables declared for the function or to be used in the function, then the executable statements which will be the part of the code for the function, and importantly there will be a return statement in a function. These contents together are forming a particular complete part of the function. These three components here together, which is included in the curly bracket, is called as the body of the function, which defines the contents of the function, what is going to perform. Let us see each of this one by one. A function name. Function name is the name given to the function by the programmer. We have to give this name in the function when we write it. The general rules to write the function name are similar to the identifier name or the variable name used in the C. In brief, that we have to start the function name with the alphabet, and thereafter we can repeat alphanumeric characters up to 32 in length, maximum in case of Turbo C if we are using it. So this function name will be referred to use the function in the program whenever we are going to use the function there. The other part for the functions are the parameters. Parameters are written after the function name in a parenthesis. These are also referred as arguments in this. For standard C, what is required is that each of the parameter must be specified by its type declaration, that which type the parameter will be there. These parameters which are given after the function name are called as the formal parameters which are referred as. After this, there is a body of the function as being explained, that it is part of the which is included in a curly braces, and it contains the declaration of the statements for the declaration of the variables. Declaration will be for the local variables, and the executable statements which will actually perform the operation for the function. At the end there is a return statement. The return type of the function in the function name specifies that what type of the value the function is going to return. So the data type of the value being written by the function is being given in the return type. This value which is to be written in the name of the function is given as in the specified as a return value. This return value and return type shall be same for the functions when it is being used. If the function is not returning any value, any type of value, then we should say that the return type should be void, a keyword in a C, meaning that the function will not return any value. Let us see that how we write an actual function in C. Here is an example that demonstrate a function for finding maximum of two numbers. So the problem is to find out the maximum of two numbers. So on the left side, it is being written that the function is written separately, and on the right side, as usual, the main program is written separately here. Let us start with the main first. Now the main program, we know how we are writing it here, that we have the variables of the main, then we are reading the values for the two variables x and y, and then we are calling a function here. Max2 is the name of the function. The max2 is now written as a separate function here, which is actually going to find out the maximum of the two numbers. The numbers being used here will be the name in the name of the parameters. That number 1 will be A, number 2 will be B, and we'll give the result here and we'll return the value of that result to the function name. Let us see how it has the effect there. So as initially been described that we say that this max2 is the function declaration, or the int max2 with parameters are the function declaration, and this is my function name max2. int a and int b are the two parameters used by this function. As described previously, these parameters which are written in the declaration of the function are called as a formal parameters. So also here we are using one variable int result which is declared in a function max2. This function is called as a local variable, meaning that this is available or accessible within the function max2 only. It cannot be accessed outside this. Similarly, now in the main we are going to use the name of the function max2 to call it or to refer it. Let us see how we are going to call it here. When you are going to see the call to the function, meaning that when I start the execution of the program will be started with the execution will be started at the main. So the statements executed will be from in the sequence from the main program. So when it comes to the call of the function, that max2 here, what will happen that the execution will be transferred to the function max2 here. So rather than continuing further to printf, it will go, the execution will go to the function max2 as there is a call for this. Now during this call, what will happen that I'm going to give the value of x and y from the main program to the function. The value of x will go to the parameter a in the function max2, and value of y will go to the parameter b in the function max2. So what is the effect of this? The value of x is copied to a and value of y is copied to b, and in the function I'll be using these values of a and b here as this. So the execution will continue here with the values of x and y copied to a and b will be used here. So when I process it at the end or to finish with the function, I'll have one return statement, at least one return statement if function is returning a value. So here I'm returning the value here. The effect of the return is that the execution of the function is completed and it will go back from where the function is called. So the function is called from the main function and will return the value. This return will have the value returned to the name of the function, that max2, what are the value in the result, and will be assigned to max here in the main program. So this will give the result of the maximum of x and y and give it to the max, and we'll print it here. That will be my actual result of the maximum of the two numbers here. Now the return type here that return type, as we have described, that the return value of the function and the return type should be of the same type, so that here the result is my integer and my return type also integer, and I am returning the return value here. The value returned here by using the return statement is returned in the name of the function and will be used in the calling function here in case the